The other day I saw that somebody I follow picked up a 1UP arcade for like $100 from Target, and I was super jealous. But just so happened when I was doing some Black Friday shopping, I found one in stock. Wham bam, I picked it up. I've secured the bag and I'm ready to go home. So ready, in fact, that I cleaned up the back of my trunk to make it look like it was always clean. Now this thing is both bigger and smaller than you'd think. It has an 8-inch screen and enough controls for 2 players to play. This is the first arcade 1UP thing I've ever picked up, and mainly it's just because they're a little too big for me to just normally have a whole bunch of them. In the past, I've heard so-so reviews on these, so I've always been a little bit cautious. There used to be complaints that the art on top would rub off over time, but this little piece of plastic will prevent that, hopefully. There's attention to detail, like this light-up marquee, and some of the fluorescent detailing on this makes it look really good in a black light scenario. I was excited to pick up this one because Marvel vs. Capcom is my favorite fighting game by far. Some of the components are made a little bit cheaper, but that's of course to keep the cost down. I'm not a huge modder or anything like that, but I feel like I could replace some of the buttons if I really wanted to. There are 4 games on this thing total, 3 fighting games, and 1 beat 'em up, which is The Punisher. I've never played The Punisher before, but the graphics were impressive, and this game's super violent. A lot of these games were built for older CRTs, but I really didn't have any problems with this tiny 8-inch monitor. Everything looks crispy. If you're a sucker for scan lines, you can also turn those on to get that old school retro feel. There's a little speaker on the bottom, which is more than loud enough, but if you want better audio, there's a little headphone jack on the side that you can plug in speakers to. Last but not least, there's a little USB input. I couldn't find too much documentation on this, but it's basically so that you can use a regular controller if you wanted to. They have several other countercade cabinets, so I wonder if like something like Ninja Turtles you could play 4-player. I really don't know. I'd have to try it out, but that would seem like a cool use case for this type of thing. I'm really glad I picked this up. You can try and see if they've got any more near your local Target. If you're not too into fighting games, Amazon had an NBA Jam one on sale yesterday for $100 as well. This is cool, and I'd try out other arcade 1UP things in the future.